Okay, in the previous module, I talked about the roles of people within the company, mainly the top management of the company. Now I want to cover the responsibility of everyone in the company. And I want to cover responsibilities in a certain way. I'm not going to talk about marketing and sales and development and manufacturing, and the list goes on. Those, I think, most people can pretty well grasp what has to go on in each of those disciplines. I want to cover the responsibility people have for the company and their commitment to the company objectives and their commitment to work with each other within the company, resulting, hopefully, in really outstanding teamwork. I want to talk about how people have to be and their responsibility to be that. So let's get on into it. As with most things in a company, this all starts with the leadership of the company. And they, of course, have put together the vision and the mission and the objectives and are in the process of communicating their operating plan and things like that. So that was a long road to hoe to get the management team to agree on all those things. But that took a matter of weeks. And I'm telling you, that was the easy part. Now we get on with the hard part. That this leadership team has to do something really, really special. And that is spending a lot of time on communication. Communication of the vision and the mission throughout the company. And they do that always and forever. This requirement never goes away. So the top management of the company has a long-term commitment to follow through on. And in their behavior as executives of the company, and as founders of the company, in some cases, they have the responsibility to communicate the vision, the mission, the objectives, the operating plan, letting people know what's going on. And they do that in lots of different ways that I've covered in previous modules. But a big responsibility of management is communication to carry out their leadership responsibility within the company. But also the requirement to communicate is held by the employees of the company as well. They have to be communicating well with each other in a lot of respects. So employees need to make sure that people have to know what their status is, what they're doing, what their issues are, what help they need are properly communicated to others in the company. You got to speak up, in other words. If you're a member of a company, you communicate with whom you have to communicate without reservation and with openness, and a commitment to follow through on getting the information that you need in order to carry out your responsibilities as an employee of the company. So communication exists both in the leadership as well as all the employees of the company. So another way to think about this cross-communication that's occurring in the company, management and employees have to be responsible individuals when they communicate. Being responsible means a lot of things that are characterized by the manner in which communication occurs. Do it responsibly. You have a responsibility to communicate, but do it in a responsible way. That means with openness, with accuracy, with a sense of commitment, with a sense of solving problems. Be responsible for your own behavior and be accountable thereby for your own behavior. So when you're carrying out your role in the company, you do so with integrity. That's another characteristic of being in management or being an employee within a company. You can be counted on for your word. Your word matters. Your word is your bond. When you speak with integrity, you're telling the truth, you're being as honest as you know how to be, and you got a sense of being accurate and responsive. You speak with integrity. People believe you. When you say you're going to do something, you do it. You have that kind of integrity. You also have a sense of commitment. So as you communicate with others in the company, you're trying to communicate in such a way that you can fulfill your commitments. You also need to have the spirit of helping others meet their commitment. If you have information that they need, you openly provide it. So there's mutual commitment and an understanding that when you ask for help from somebody, you'll probably get it. If it is at all possible, you will do the same. So there's a sense of commitment felt by everyone in the company, and that's part of their responsibility to be that way. Everyone needs to be a really good listener. A lot of people are really, really good at talking and talking and talking. I wish there were more that were really good listeners. Stop and listen. Think about it. If someone is bringing an issue to you and you're hearing what they have to say, but you're hearing in a way that you're thinking up a response or a defense or something like that as they are speaking, and you're not really listening. You're listening for how I can respond to this, instead of listening for understanding. What is it they're talking about? What do they mean? More often than not, I'd say 75-80% of the time, as you're listening, what you're really thinking up is the next question you need to ask them so you get an understanding of what they're meaning. So when you listen, you listen for meaning, listening for issues, listening for what is going on with the person, and ask follow-up questions until you get what the heck they mean, at which time you can respond. And you can respond with full understanding of what the heck they meant by whatever they're trying to tell you. If everyone was a great listener, I think the teamwork would improve many-fold. Be a good listener. But as you're listening, listen not only for the content of what they're saying, but listen for why they're saying it, or how they're reacting to it, how they're feeling about it. Yeah, there's feelings involved here. How are they feeling? You want to know what's going on with them that causes them to be saying what they're saying. So you kind of get the full picture. You get the content of what they mean, and you get to understand a little bit of where they're coming from in this. They may be hurt, they may be angry, they may be not understanding. Understand where they're coming from. That's empathy. So listen, but with empathy. What results from all this is a group of people that know a lot about each other. They've come to trust each other. That's the gold mine of all of this. When there's been enough communication and enough commitment and enough evidence that this is a group of people that really means what they say, they do what they say they're going to do, and they do it within the bounds they said they would do it within, and they're openly communicating and thereby showing that they can be trusted. Once they see trust is occurring, teamwork takes an order of magnitude jump in effectiveness. Teamwork is built out of trust. And if you build trust through all of these responsibilities that you carry out as an individual within the company, teamwork will be incredible. There's nothing you can't do. In a practical sense, there is. But you can climb mountains together and trust one another to do what they say they're going to do, always. In summary, then, as an individual in the company, as a manager in the company, you talk the talk about your responsibilities for your working relationship, and you walk the walk. That is, you actually do what you say you're going to do. You do it with pride. You do it in such a manner that over time, you become a trusted individual in the company. And as you are a trusted individual in the company, you have a great day too.